All right, we are looking at factoring polynomials, still in the same form of the trinomial ax squared plus bx plus c, when a does not equal 1 and there is no GCF. So you might encounter this situation where a is some number other than 1, however, there is no common factor between all three of the numbers. So there are steps to take when that happens. You're still going to be doing the same as before. So the same steps as before, same as factoring. When a equals 1, but with 2 extra steps now. And those 2 extra steps are, first, you divide by a and simplify. Oops, it's fuzzy. And the second step that you can do is bottoms up when possible. And you'll see what I mean when we get there. All right, so before, if a was some number other than 1, we found the greatest common factor, and then we took that greatest common factor and factored it out. So that would be outside my parentheses. Since there is no GCF, there's not going to be a number outside my parentheses. Instead, we take that a and divide by that number. So let's move on to examples. So 2x squared plus 5x plus 3. So this is in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. So we're going to start by identifying our ABCs. My a is 2, b is 5, and c is 3. Notice out of my coefficients, 2, 5, and 3, the only factor that they have in common is 1. But we're not going to sit there and pull out a 1 because 1 multiplying by 1 is the same thing. It's not going to change anyway how it looks. So there is no GCF. Since there is no GCF, we're going to go straight into my X puzzle, where it's a times c on top, b on the bottom. 2 times 3 is 6, 5 on the bottom. And then you solve, just like normal. Let me give you a few seconds, see if you can figure it out before I write it out. If you want, you can pause it. But if you got the numbers 2 and 3, you are correct. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 plus 3 is 5. So now we write it out just like we normally would. X plus 2, X plus 3. So normally we would either put the factor in the front or call it a day and say that's my answer. But now we come to these 2 extra steps. Because a is not 1, we have to go through and divide by a, in this case 2. So I'm going to divide both of those factors by 2 and simplify when I can. Well, I can simplify 2 divided by 2. That's just 1, so this becomes x plus 1. However, over here, I can't do 3 divided by 2 because I'll get a decimal, and I can't simplify this fraction any, so I go to my next step, which says bottoms up when possible. We don't want to see a fraction. Fractions are icky when it comes to factors. So we take the bottom of the fraction and move it up to the front of the inside of the parentheses. So that would be 2x plus 3. And that's my answer. think we've had enough practice with checking our answers. We're not going to check it for the purpose of these notes, but if you don't believe that this is the answer, go ahead and check it through box method or FOIL and Charlie Smile, and you should get the same thing that we started with. All right, move on to the next video for the next few examples.